What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday and welcome in to the FantasyAlarm MLB DFS preview show. I am James Grande. I am your host today. As you can see, I'm riding solo for this episode. I think John got lost going to get food or something. I don't know. It's what he messaged me. He said he can't find his car. He's stuck in a parking lot somewhere. So hopefully John makes it to his car. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully the Chick-fil-A was worth it. That's all I got to say. But I will be riding solo in this episode, and we'll just quickly break down the 6-game afternoon slate on DraftKings, beginning at 12:05. Final game, Cubs Royals kicking off at 2:20. So let's dive into this. If you guys are first-time listeners and first-time watchers, we do go position by position, starting us off with the pitching position. Spencer Strider is the one pitcher over 10K. Dylan Cease is the other pitcher over 9K. I think pretty definitively Spencer Strider is the guy amongst the two. I think Dylan Cease is definitely has a high ceiling. But Spencer Strider, the start prior to the All-Star break and after the All-Star break, looked like the former Cy Young winner himself. He's actually pitched pretty well lately. The velocity's been up. The strikeouts have been up. There's a lot to like about Strider in this matchup against the struggling Giants offense. They've looked better the last two nights in Atlanta, but they have not faced Spencer Strider. So love Strider at 10K. We know Dylan Cease has a very high ceiling. We just see it in this last start, right? 5 1/3, 10 strikeouts, scoreless baseball. The problem is he doesn't always pitch deep into games, and there's always these blow up potentials as well. Even in games where he has 8 strikeouts, he has 6 earned. So wide range of outcome for Dylan Cease. I think he's definitely fine. Is he a priority on the slate, like over Spencer Strider? No. Unless there's a wide enough ownership discrepancy that makes you go there. I don't see much of a case for Cease over Strider. Now, the 8K tier, we have Seth Lugo, Nick Lodolo, Sean Manaea making his second start. This is a tough spot for Lugo. He's coming off a pretty brutal start against the Marlins, who we just talked about against Cease. They have been way, way better. The Cubs are really good. We'll have to see if there's any type of wind blowing out in Wrigley. You never know with an afternoon game in Wrigley Field, but I'll probably stay away from Lugo. I'm definitely good getting to Nick Lodolo. He has looked awesome for most of the year. He has looked awesome, especially on the road. If you're looking at, his splits, he has a 4.17 ERA, 2.64 average against at home. How about a 2.56 and a sub 200 average for opponents on the road? Mendoza line stuff for Nick Lodolo. So 8,400 for Lodolo looks really, really good going up against Washington. I know Washington's been better against left-handed pitching of late, but I have a lot of interest in Lodolo at that price tag. Sorry, I said second start. Third start for Sean Manaea. I forgot he had the brief outing prior to the break. He's a good pitcher, dude. A lot of 13 strikeouts in his first 7 1/3 innings. The one problem we have here is going to be the fact that he has not thrown a lot of pitches. 65 and 69 pitches in his first 2 outings. Expect a slow build. If this is where we're at, it's going to be slow. I wouldn't expect him to suddenly throw 80, 90 pitches in this game, somewhere in the 70s. And if that, is enough for you, then you can get there, because this is a spot where he can miss a lot of bats. The Angels do strike out a lot. So you can definitely get to Manaea if you're comfortable with big time limitations, like Sean Manaea will likely have in this spot. Under 8K we go. Colin Ray, 78, definitely a decent spot. We have Troy Melton making his season debut for the Detroit Tigers, but he's had a lot of strikeouts at the minor league level. 101 strikeouts in 75 innings. That's between triple and double A. It's the Pirates. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get some ownership, just given what the matchup is. Now the Pirates have been better the last couple nights, but 7,500 for Melton looks pretty good. Mike Soroka has been extremely up and down, more down lately than up. It's fine in the San Diego start, but 3 strikeouts. The strikeouts were trending up for a little while. Now they are not. He's fine. Same thing with Carson Fulmer. I mean, what are we expecting from Fulmer? I guess what do we see? What have we seen from Carson Fulmer? Before I go any further, I want to see what, this is a former highly coveted prospect. He was selected in the first round of the 2015 draft. So, obviously, great pedigree. It just hasn't turned out. He was in 2016, he was Major League Baseball's 38th ranked prospect. At the AAA level for the Angels this year, he's pitched in 9 games. He has not started any of them, 11 and 2/3. So he's going to just be an opener from the looks of things. Definitely can't go there. Bailey Falter, tough against Detroit. Sandy, people just think this is going to turn around. It just is getting worse. Could it be getting worse? Yeah. I don't know. The Padres have been quite terrible, but I just don't know what's the upside going here. I don't know. So no on Sandy, and Justin Verlander hasn't won a game. He has not won a game this year. He has lost 3 straight decisions. He has lost 5 of his last 6. I don't know. He just probably shouldn't be pitching for much longer. I don't think he makes it to the season, but salute to the legend. Not going there, nevertheless. Catcher, we go. And if you guys would be so kind, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. We go live. We do this pre-show Monday through Friday, usually after the main slate locks, some point in the evening, and then we go live 5 p.m. Eastern Standard if there's a slate that warrants a breakdown. So, we'll be back at 5 p.m. Jon Impemba and myself to break it down even further with a little more analysis. But back to the positional breakdown. Catcher, we go either Braves catcher stands out like a sore thumb, Baldwin and Murphy. Baldwin probably, I shouldn't say has the better ceiling. They both have tremendous ceilings. I'd play Baldwin or Murphy, both if you're playing multiple lineups. Augustin Ramirez in GPPs. Logan O'Hoppe looks pretty good with the power. Salvador Perez has just been an absolute machine. You can absolutely play Salvi if you want. You can do the same thing with Dylan Dingler against a lefty. Francisco Alvarez homered on Tuesday, gets called up. Maybe good things to come from Alvarez. We've now seen hits in back-to-back games for Alvarez since being called up. Maybe good things on the horizon here. Definitely like Alvarez, 3,100. If Darno is starting, you could definitely go to Darno. Riley Adams had a good day. If you want to punt, Patrick Bailey is probably your punt. He's been quite good lately. So let's go to first. Michael Busch will be back in the lineup with a righty on the mound. He looks great. Matt Olson's probably going to be your chalkiest first baseman, at least in this price range. Undoubtedly a great spot for Matt Olson against Verlander. I'd play basically any Brave that exists in the world in the lineup. Olson definitely included. Play Alonso. He hasn't looked great. Love Torkelson's power against Falter. I think Steer's okay. Shanuel, I think, looks pretty good. Pasquantino, 36. We know Colin Ray has a lefty problem. I like Pasquantino quite a bit at $3,600. Horwitz, Josh Bell, they're okay. That's probably it. Let's go to second. Gleyber Torres tops the list. Gleyber Torres has been elite against left-handed pitching this year. I don't know why I select Gleyber Torres and Andy Rodriguez pops up. There is Gleyber, bearded, like he definitely was not as a New York Yankee. But I would definitely play some Gleyber Torres against left-handed pitching. That has been his sweet spot all year long. Second actually looks pretty good. Gleyber, McLean, Edwards, Horner. I'd play all four of those guys. You could play Nick Gonzalez against a pitcher making his debut. I've said it a couple times. I mean, Ozzie Albies has been bad for most of the year. Really big signs of life starting in that Yankee series and now stretching into San Francisco. And it's been mostly from the left side. And that's not been Ozzie Albies' MO. His sweet spot has been hitting from the right side. So interesting to see Ozzie Albies, signs of life. He had been dreadful leading up to that. So $3,600, I definitely have interest there against Justin Verlander. You can play any of these Mets. They all look good because we don't know necessarily what's going to happen after Carson Fulmer. But Jeff McNeil, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, all right there. All good values as well. Third base, Manny Machado tops the list. You can definitely get to Manny Machado against Sandy Alcantara. He has not looked good. I mean, let's face it, he has looked. That's a picture of Luis Angel in Manny Machado's. Okay, you guys see now it changed. Okay, whatever. Definitely get to Machado. Devers in tournaments only. Noelvi Marte looks pretty good. He continues to rake. Yohan Moncada will be hitting from the right side. The update today gave us that Austin Riley might not be back until Sunday or Friday rather. That's kind of stinks. I wish we'd get him earlier, but doesn't look like we're going to. McKinstry, lefty, no thanks. Chapman, I think all the Giants are fine in tournaments. Brady House is in a pretty good spot. Matt Shaw's bat's waking up. I know he's been better against lefties, but you could play Matt Shaw if you'd like 3,300. Again, he's been much, much better. Vientos has his bats also waking up. So Nacho Alvarez, if Austin Riley continues to miss time, I mean, he hasn't been great, but it's a very small sample. So if you want to play some Nacho Alvarez, the guy has a super low floor, but he also is he's raked at the AAA level. So let's go on over to shortstop. Elly De La Cruz looks great. We have not gotten an Elly De La Cruz home run since June 23rd. So it'll be a full month since Elly hit his last home run. This is definitely a spot he can do it. Mike Soroka has struggled against lefties. I like Bobby Witt. He's hit like all of his home runs against righties this year. Lindor looks good. Zach Neto against a lefty looks great. I always say you can play Willie Adames anytime he's facing a righty. That opinion does not change. You can definitely play Willie Adames when he's facing a righty here, even though it's Spencer Strider. Dansby Swanson had a bunch of hits lately and on Tuesday. You could play Bogarts. You could play Javi. You can play Javi. He's fine, right? We all knew Javi was gonna, not hit 300 the whole year, right? But he has hit lefties pretty well this year. Otto Lopez has been an RBI machine. If you look at all of his numbers over the last month, he's in the top 5 in RBIs, which, shout out my boy Otto Lopez. He has been a dog. So you can play some Otto Lopez there. Paul DeYoung's in the lineup. That's fine too. Nothing else we need to talk about. Let's finish this thing up in the outfield. Ronald Acuna Jr., I assume will be the most popular play in the outfield. I mean, Verlander again is dust. Like the literal term dust. And I'm not trying to discredit him in his career, but his 2025 season is oof. Oof. So yeah, Acuna looks amazing at 64. You could, of course, you could play Tucker. Of course, you could play Soto. PCA would say, I mean, there's no wrong answer. Tatis looks great at 51 against Alcantara, and he's been better specifically against right-handed pitchers. Kyle Stowers, 5K. He's been. I'm not sure there. You could probably count on one hand how many players have more home runs since over the last like month or in the month of July rather than Kyle Stowers. He's been amazing. So definitely can get the Stowers. Trout gets Manaea. Play Austin Hayes. Play Ian Happ from his strong split side. Taylor Ward has monster power. Brandon Nimmo will lead off at 4,400. Jackson Merrill, Joe Adele, Heliot Ramos, all three of them look great. Getting below $4,000, what do we got? Will Benson, if he's in the lineup, he's a GPP play. Profar will hit at the top of the Braves lineup. That's kind of the direction they've gone, where they've moved Acuna down to the 3-hole, hit Profar in the middle of their lineup. He looks, or hit Profar on the top of their lineup, rather. He looks great. Brian Reynolds is good. Jesus Sanchez, if you're attacking Cease, I think looks pretty great. Soler is a cheap home run always. Anyone below, I mean, even Michael Harris, dude, he's been so bad. I know he homered the other day. He also walked. He hadn't walked in 2 months before this walk right here, which doesn't seem real when you play every day, but that's an achievement that Michael Harris had. So I played Michael Harris at 28. Cags is a little interesting because he's been better, and we've been getting a little more power. Like we knew the power was legit, and it's starting to surface. I mean, 3 home runs in his last 8 games. That's not bad. Hits in 5 of those, so starting to get a little bit more from Jack Caglione. Rave hit, I think he double dunged, right? The other day, and then he homered again. I mean, he's been pretty productive in like recently, most recently. So yeah, that's probably it. Let's get a core built here. I'm just gonna plug Acuna. Feel very comfortable going there. Let's see what Lodolo, Strider, Acuna gets us. Lodolo, Acuna, Strider. That one felt really good in the moment. If we played some of this Mets stuff, it looks pretty good. Like, I assume they'll play Beatty because he's been so good. And then I assume they'll play Mauricio with a righty on the mound because he's also, like, he hasn't been as good. He had a stolen base on Tuesday. You could also, like, go to, you just don't have to play Mauricio. But if you want to do a little Mets, because we should want Braves. That's really what I'm getting to here. I'll go Murphy because he's cheaper. And I'll go Profar. I think, we'll get, if you can get to Baldwin here, that would probably be something I would explore as well. Or if you wanted to stay Murphy and play Matt Olson at first, that's something too. But we'll go with this core: Nick Lodolo, Spencer Strider, Sean Murphy, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, Ronald Acuna Jr., Jerkson Profar. About $4,000 left for a first, short, and outfielder. We'll finish the lineup in the Discord. We'll post it there. The Discord, to join the Discord, it's free. We are a subscription. We do have a subscription-based channel, or Discord channel. There's free channels in there, of course, but there are, channels that you can only unlock with the subscription, and all that information will be in the comments section or in the body of this show. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back at 5 p.m. with the live stream. Peace.